Today I'm going to be recording some vocals, and when I record, I like to print some compression and EQ directly onto the track. I do this in two ways. Either I use my Universal Audio Apollo Twin, in which I use the Unison technology preamp simulations, the Avalon 737, the Manley Voxbox, and the LA 6176 are all pretty good to record some vocals. They have some EQ and compression directly there, and it prints onto the track, and it emulates the impedance of those preamps. I don't know if they sound like the original things. Not that I care. It sounds really good to me. But lately, my favorite thing is my hardware preamps. And I use this Pro MPA II from Art, in which I replaced the stock Chinese tubes by Genelex Gold Lion tubes. Then it goes into this Pro VLA2 compressor. It's an opto compressor. I replaced the tubes again from the stock Chinese ones to Mullard tubes. And this is my pièce de résistance, my Stam Audio MEQP1A+. It's a take on the Pultec EQ. It's like an EQ P1A, but with some extra stuff. There's essentially the MEQ5 in this button combination here. I can either boost, attenuate, and I have all the range of frequencies from the MEQ5's 3 knobs, except I only have 1 knob to work with, but it's still pretty amazing to have that. The only problem is if I record like guitar or piano, it's pretty okay. I could put some noise cancelling headphones and actually dial in some nice EQ because I can hear what I'm recording. But with vocals, it's impossible to remove the head resonance even if I have headphones. So you can't really hear clearly what the vocals sounds like in the mix because you're hearing your voice inside your head a lot too. So what I do is I record a ghost vocal and I bypass the EQ. Then in the mix in Cubase, I EQ that ghost vocal using a Pultec plugin. Then I copy the settings from the Pultec plugin onto the hardware and I do my real tracks. All right, let's go do that now. I think that's good enough for a scratch track. So let's go and apply that EQ. All right, so we have the vocals here. Sans regret, je vais partir. All right, so for the simulation of that hardware here, what I'm going to use is the Pultec Pro Legacy. So because it has the MEQ5 directly here, I know I can only use one of those 3 bands, but I'm going to make do with that. So let's start with the EQ-P1A, like for the bass, probably here. Sans regret, je vais partir pour de vrai, sans aucune trace. All right, using that Pultec bass trick where I boost the bass and attenuate it at the same time. It gives us a nice curve. It gives us some girth without being too boomy. For the high frequencies, I like to use very broad bands when I EQ and print directly. So I'm going to go for broad and let's check it out. Sans regret, je vais partir pour de vrai, sans aucune trace, je m'efface. All right, that sounds pretty good. See, I'm putting it pretty high. I'm not really holding back because I know it's like it's a ribbon mic I've been using, the AEA KU5A, and ribbon mics really need a lot of that high frequency boost, but they take that EQ like a champ. It sounds so good. Now I'm going to put a little bit of attenuation at 5K to remove some of the harshness that could be there, like sibilance and harshness. I'm going to compensate a bit here. Je vais partir pour de vrai, sans aucune trace, je m'efface. All right, that's pretty nice. All right, let's go somewhere else in the song and let's check that middle frequency. So like from experience, either like I cut at 1K, so let's check it out. Je m'efface, j'ai pas qui tombe, m'engourdit. Taking that bit because I'm like a bit higher in the register, so maybe those frequencies are a bit harsher there. Qui tombe, m'engourdit. Right, so instead of like cutting at 1, what if we boost at 2? No, I think I prefer the cut at 1, and I'm keeping this one very subtle. It's just to make it a bit extra smooth. If I need more presence in like the 2-3K, I'm gonna do that later in the mix when everything is fully mixed. Now it's just to put some nice EQs to make it sound nice, directly printed on. All right, now let's dial in that EQ using the plugin. Let's copy the plugin settings at 64. Let's cut at 1. 2, okay, broad. 12K at 6 or 6.5. Let's go with 6.5. Let's attenuate at 5 a little bit. Okay, now let's stop bypassing it and let's go to some vocal takes. So now I'm going to be recording some vocal takes. I usually do 8. That seems to be the magic number for me. And then I comp together a best of those 8 takes. Now I'm going to be doing the verse, pre-chorus, and chorus. Sometimes I might just be doing just the verses and then splitting to the chorus, but now I want to get like a nice flow. And there's a lot more of this song after that. This is just the first couple minutes. So this is it. I'm going to be doing a bunch of takes. So now I have that EQ dialed in. Sans regret, sans at off, sans. So it's pretty subtle, and that's what you want. And anyway, that's what I want when I print. I don't want to go too balls to the wall. Like I could dial it up to 10. Sans really opens it up, but it might be too harsh in the end. So let's keep it at 6.5 and let's do some takes. Make sure I always save between takes. Yeah, the point of doing 8 takes is I can just be loose, there's no stakes. If something screws up, I know it's probably going to be okay in some other takes, so I could be really with the flow of the song. I think I'm gonna do a couple takes of that last little phrase because I'm not sure I really nabbed it. Like safety takes. So now what's left to do is go in, comp it, and we're done. Now it's time for the fun part, comping the vocals. No, it's not really fun. It's a bit of a drag, but I find that it's really useful to do it, especially for vocals and like maybe guitar solos, like melodic, expressful instruments. For the rest, I'm not going to do it for like acoustic guitars, rhythmic guitars, anything else, bass. I'm going to try to practice the part and then really nail it in a one taker and maybe like punch in some little bits that I didn't get right. Because it's really a drag to comp several bits of like takes into one like really good take. For vocals, it's really worth it. And I found that doing 8 takes for me is sort of the magic number. I tried doing more and I tried doing less. When there's more, like 16 tracks, it's overwhelming and it's so long and it's ugh. And with 3 takes, sometimes you get it and sometimes you're missing one little bit that you didn't really nab to your satisfaction, and it's really frustrating to not have that little bit, so you have to do an extra track and you're not really in the flow anymore. So with 8, I find that it's the good min-max of less of a drag to comp and assuring that I have all the bits. And as you've seen, I've punched in a couple of little bits just by themselves just to ensure that I have everything. I might not need them, but who knows. And Cubase is really good to do the comping. Look, I have all my takes here. All right, I'm done. I think I'm going to add some doubles left and right in when the sort of chorus thing happens, the pre-chorus thing. For the double, I'll be using this mic here. It's an Electro-Voice RE50. It's an omnidirectional dynamic mic, so it's not very bright, but it has like a nice weird sound that really like marries well with double vocals that you can pan left and right if you want. All right, for this mic, I already figured out what the settings were, so I'm gonna dial them in. Now to plug it in, so this is the KU5A that's plugged in, so I'm gonna use now that RE50. That's it. Just have to turn on the phantom power. So when I use this mic here, I usually sing a bit further away from the mic to get a bit of room tone, and it makes the back vocals sit further back in the mix for free. I don't have to add any reverbs or anything because it's already there. And the mic is not really high fidelity. It's like it's a mic that's made for field recording, like reporters asking questions. It's omnidirectional. You don't have to point it very like precisely, but I find that it has a really good sound for duplicate vocals that sit a bit further away from the mix. It has a nice, I don't know, I just like it. And for those duplicate vocals like that I pan left and right or don't pan, I usually don't do a zillion takes. I just try to do a one taker and that's it. It would be a nightmare to just try to like comp that. So let's do it. Sans aucune trace, je m'efface. J'ai plus de place. Qui veut de ma face? La pluie qui tombe. J'ai plus de peine. Y'a qu'une chose certaine à chanter, emporté d'un désir de m'enfuir dans... Alright, so I'm back. So first off, I'm gonna do a bit of mixing. I'm gonna throw that main vocal sans aucune trace into this Galaxy Tape Echo that has 0 feedback, so it's just doing one repeat. Sans aucune trace. Maybe it's a bit too wide. I'm gonna shorten it. Sans aucune trace, je m'efface. J'ai plus de place. Okay, second off, we're gonna send it into some reverb. Capital Chambers. They sound pretty good. I love them. Sans aucune trace, je m'efface. Okay, then I got a whole bunch of, I got my vocal chain here. So first off, I'm gonna put some
DS directly here, child strip. DS or flip. Same thing for the dupes. DS. DS, and here's...
I could put more DSing. I really don't like those S's. I put some tape saturation. A bit of MV2 and RVox. They're really nice for vocals, like one after the other. They sort of nice compression and it's a bit transparent, doesn't add any weird stuff. And in the end, I just add a little bit more EQ on the whole bus, not too much. Bit of eyes, a little bit at around 100 to give it some girth, and finish off with a little bit of LA2A. Sans aucune trace, which doesn't seem like it's doing anything right now. Sans aucune trace. Okay, and I got my dupes here set up. Sans aucune trace, je m'efface. I'm going to place the volume in the mix properly. Sans aucune trace. All right, I think that's pretty good. So let's have a listen. So there you go. I have some vocals on the first verse, pre-chorus and chorus, and some duplicates for the first chorus and pre-chorus. And probably next time I'm gonna stack up some harmonies and key places to really spice up that song. I think that's it for now. See you next time.